What's going on, guys? It's MrDarkPhoenix here, bringing you guys a first of video because I want to try and branch out my channel to more than just certain things. So what I did was, when in my idea pool of certain videos that I can do, I came across Kian's video from Our Second Life on the 90s kids tag, and I figured what better way to basically bring you guys more content from me than by basically doing a tag video, because I want to try and branch out into other stuff, and because I'm a really big fan of Our Second Life anyway, so why not? And basically I'm going to start doing more videos like this, weekly vlogs. I think I'm going to reset my vlogs now, and basically make this maybe the first one. I'm not sure. This is all a work in progress. This I hope is going to be weekly or bi-weekly, but like I said, this is just basically like a test run to see how this goes. But let's start with the 90s kids tag, because I was born in 1988, so by the time I was able to basically run and move and stuff, I was basically born in the prime of the 90s. And I loved it, so why not give you guys a glimpse of who I am and all that good stuff. So I'm going to answer these 15 questions on the 90s kids tag. I'm going to remix some, and I'm going to keep some the same, but you know, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit more information about who I am and all that good stuff. So let's start with question 1, which is, what was your favorite TV show of the 90s? Damn. This is a long one because I had a lot of TV shows. I loved a lot of TV back in the day. Like, what was it? Of course, the Power Rangers and the Beetleborgs and Masked Rider and Darkwing Duck, DuckTales, Chippendales, all that stuff. I mean, Dexter's Laboratory, Ed, Edd n Eddy, all of that was like Johnny Bravo, a pup named Scooby-Doo. It's like one of my favorites. Animaniacs, Courage the Cowardly Dog, all that stuff. So I'm just gonna leave it at all of that, and basically, if it came on in the 90s, I probably watched it and loved it. What was it? Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, Spider-Man the Animated Series, X-Men the Animated Series. I could go on and on and on, but I'm just gonna leave it. And if it came on during the 90s, I watched it probably, and I loved it. And I'm just going to leave it at that, because I can literally, this one question could go on forever. So let's just leave it at this for now, just because I feel like I can go on forever. What was your favorite toy? My favorite toy in the 90s was pretty much the majority of them. I loved the Power Rangers toys. I have a Godzilla toy. I loved the action figures for like a whole bunch of different stuff that I like X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, all that stuff, the Joker, all that stuff. I pretty much played with a lot of toys. I still have a really big imagination, so you know, I had a toy, so I was basically like in love with it, and I basically had all the information for it, so I had all that stuff to worry about. Favorite commercial in the 90s? I'm gonna have to go with, I'm not sure exactly what they mean, but I pretty much mean a commercial, so I'm just gonna go with the commercial for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, where they first introduced Green with Evil, when Tommy was the evil Green Ranger for the first time, because that's my personal favorite storyline from them, is when he was the evil Ranger for the first time. It was like, what, 5 or 6 parts, but we were on the edge of our seats every week, and so like every commercial for that was like, you know, oh my god, he's evil and he's a Power Ranger, how is this gonna work? This is the first time, and I'm a kid, I'm like in awe, because I'm like, oh god, he's evil and he's a Power Ranger, he's beating them up with like everything. So if I had to pick a favorite commercial, it'd probably be that. Question number 4, NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys? I had to go with NSYNC, because when I was a kid, when I first started getting introduced to music, I really liked pop music, and one of the other videos I saw, speaking of either one of them, was Bye Bye Bye, when they were on the puppets and they were doing the dance like that, and they were the puppets, and I was a kid and I was like, oh my god, they're puppets and they're dancing, they're like toys. And so I was like, yeah, had to get the song. Downloading songs a lot harder back in the day than it is now. I'm really appreciative of that. Question number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Weirdest fashion trend. I didn't really pay attention to people's fashion. Maybe I could say wearing your pants correctly, or like at a level height, maybe could be my answer to that, but pretty much I don't really remember any weird fashion trends back in the 90s. I really can't remember anything, so probably skip that question. Question 6. Favorite collectibles? Pokemon cards. because they were the shit back then. Still are, but not really as much as they were before. I still have my Ancient Mew from the first Pokemon movie. I have my Mewtwo, my Gyarados, my Blastoise, my Charizard, my Ninetales, Shiny, all that stuff. I can't find them, but I swear I have them, and in another video I'll make, I'll show you guys all my stuff. And of course my Cloud Book from Card Captors, if you remember that. I'll bring that up also when I can find it, because I'm not sure where it is, but I'll find it somewhere. But among that, among toys and everything, those were my favorite collectibles, and so I just left it at that. What is this question? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Question 7. Favorite Beanie Baby? I'm not really sure how to answer that. I didn't really have Beanie Babies back in the day. It was mainly like action figures and probably stuffed animals. So, I'm gonna go with my favorite stuffed animal, which was my stuffed rabbit that I cleverly named Mr. Bunny. 'Cause he was awesome, and me and him went on awesome adventures together. Question 8. Ugh, I'm gonna stop saying the questions answer because I'm getting confused now. How many Tamagotchis did you go through? This question is so rude because if you were a kid in the 90s, then you went through a lot because they kept dying. Because they were needy little bastards that always needed to eat and do all that crap when I was asleep. And then when I was awake, I'd wake up to a Tamagotchi dying. And that's not a good thing to wake up to because something that you cared for and loved is dead. And that wasn't good for you because you were a terrible Tamagotchi parent to them. So needless to say, a lot. And the Pikachu one, which still died. So I partly killed Pikachu during my childhood. Yeah. Hated that one. 'Cause I just did. Next question. Favorite game console or game? So, I was a really big gamer, obviously back then, and still am now, so thank you to the 90s for that. But my favorite game console, I'd have to say, was my SNES, Super Nintendo, and one of my favorite games was Mega Man X and Super Mario World 2, and I had to go that from there, because I had a lot of other ones like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, and the original Tomb Raider, and all of that other good stuff, and of course, you know, other stuff, so... Just to name a few, those are my favorite ones from there. Favorite Disney Channel original movie? I don't really remember watching any original movies from Disney unless I did, but I'm just going to change this to favorite Disney movie, and I'm going to go with my all-time favorite Disney movie, which is going to be Aladdin. Because I love Aladdin with a passion. It's my favorite Disney movie of all time. And a close second to that is going to be The Great Mouse Detective, because he was a mouse and a detective, and what could be better than the combination of those two things? Nothing. No. Favorite music artist? I've loved music for so long. Trying to pinpoint exactly where that started was, I'm going to say, was artists like Britney Spears with Hit Me Baby One More Time, and Brandy and Monica, and NSYNC and stuff like that. And just basically stuff like that. I was really big into pop and R&B back in the day, and I just really liked all that stuff from there. So that's how my music origin started. Favorite Nick Jr. show? I'm gonna have to go with Face here, because if you are really a kid from the 90s, you know exactly Face. Different colored Face in the morning. You woke up, he'd be like, good morning, I'd be like, hi, and you know, all that good stuff. But my favorite Nick Jr. show would have to be Blue's Clues, because the fact that it was so goofy and so funny, and the fact that now that I'm an adult and I'm like, salt and pepper get married and make paprika and cinnamon. If you combine salt and pepper, you are not going to get those two things. Now that I am a filthy-minded adult, and I am not afraid to admit that to anyone on my YouTube channel, because I don't care. Favorite candy? Favorite candy now is a mixture of others, but Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Basically, if you wanted to kidnap me, all you would have to have is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and a peach tea Snapple, and I would sadly get in your car. Sadly enough. Hope no one uses that against me later on in life. Don't kidnap me. You won't be able to keep me fed. You'll throw me back at my parents in so many rude ways. Favorite board game? of the 90s was Trouble and Sorry and sometimes Monopoly, depending, because Monopoly takes a while to get used to and play, so I'd have to say Trouble and Sorry to start out with, because those are definitely my favorites to play with either my friends or my family, so can't say much about that. What would you watch after school? Damn, I'd rush home to watch a lot of stuff. I would wake up in the morning for shows like Beast Wars. Me and my grandmother would watch that. She would wake me up and we would watch it because we both liked it very much. And when I got home, I would rush home to watch shows like Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain and all the animated series from assorted comic book related stuff. And of course all that other stuff. So I mean, like Darkwing Duck, like I said, like I mentioned, my favorite shows, pretty much if it came on in the 90s, I probably rushed home to watch it, and I probably stood in front of my TV like, it's time for Animaniacs, it's time for Pinky and the Brain, it's like, it's time for the night, it's time for Kevin Conroy to voice things. But that's it. That's my 90s tag, my 90s kids tag, for all of that good stuff. This is going to be my first vlog or tag or whatever. I'll figure it out as I go along, but thank you guys so much for watching. Get to know a little bit more about me, and don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and give me a comment down below about favorite stuff from your favorite stuff from the 90s, whether you were born from 19 whatever to 1999. Oh shit.